Hello, and welcome to today's NinjaTrader ecosystem event, Trading Tomorrow, Unleashing the Power of Futures. My name is Chris. I'm a platform representative at NinjaTrader. Before we start the webinar, I have a few housekeeping notes. Secondly, this webinar is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to NinjaTrader Brokerage using the phone number or email on screen. Lastly, if you are new to NinjaTrader, please make sure you sign up for a free NinjaTrader account, which includes access to 14 days of complimentary real-time market data. Our platform is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. You can create your free account by following the link on the screen and clicking Get Started under the Welcome section. Before I turn the mic over to Gary and Linda, it is important to understand that futures, foreign currency, and options trading contain substantial risk and is not suitable for every investor. It is possible to lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial or security lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Also, please remember that these trading sessions are not a solicitation or a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Thanks again for joining us today. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, Gary and Linda.
All right. Everybody sees it okay? All right. My name is Gary Donahoo. I'm actually one of the founders of Viper Trading Systems. We've been in business almost 15 years. And one thing about it, we're not one of those Johnny-come-lately. We've been around a long time. We've got a really good website, contact, support, everything about Viper Trading Systems. So let me go ahead and show you some things about us real quick. Bear with me a second. All right, this webinar is going to be about unleashing the power of futures. I know a lot of you are probably obviously futures traders, or you wouldn't be in this webinar. And futures trading can be a very powerful way to make some income, but as always, you know, everything does involve risk, just like our host said. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go down here. And basically, the history of Viper Trading Systems had a partner that actually passed away a couple of years ago, almost a couple of years ago, that he and I founded the company back in 2009. And so we've been around a good long time. All right, we're going to introduce a tool called Object Trader today. And with Object Trader, it is a NinjaTrader strategy. Everything that we do, by the way, is on NinjaTrader. Our coding, everything that's done is all NinjaTrader 8 nowadays. And I'm going to show you the strategy here in just a couple of minutes. We do have some features now on Object Trader. How many of you have got prop accounts, basically like with some of the prop firms out there? You've probably heard of trade copiers, right? Well, we've got something directly involved with Object Trader that you can actually clone your accounts. I'm going to show you that on Object Trader here in just a minute. All right. And we also added a new feature on Object Trader just recently called Auto Fibonacci Entries. Now, what this will actually do, you can choose, you know, for instance, let's say you have a nice swing and you want to go ahead and calculate your Fibonacci's. This is an auto fib, so it's going to draw in real time, but you can also link it to our Object Trader strategy to actually take a trade based on an auto Fibonacci. And I'll show you those type of entries on that. All right, we're going to talk about trading with like auto regions. Auto regions are actually little region boxes that we basically draw on your chart in real time, and then you can choose to take the trade or not take the trade. We've got trend lines available to take trades with. We have mid-band trades, predictor trades, and much more. And I'm going to try to go over as much of that as possible, but we also do have a webinar after this that we're going to give away a 1-year membership with Viper Trading Systems, and I'll be able to go over a lot more about Viper. Okay, and that's in that follow-up webinar. And I put that in the chat log here. I'm going to go ahead and paste it again, and be sure and sign up for that webinar after this event. Okay, that's going to include a 1-year free membership with Viper Trading Systems. By the way, that membership alone is worth pretty good amount of money because you're going to get a free year and you won't have to worry about paying anything. One of you lucky people out there will win that. Must be in attendance to get it though. Okay, so be sure and click on that webinar link right there and join us. All right. Our homepage, by the way, at Viper Trading Systems is simply vipertradingsystems.com. Okay. You'll come into our homepage right there. All right. Now, what we're going to talk about a little bit more today, anybody trade with Fibonacci's? By the way, Fibonacci's can be found in everything to do from nature to even your own body. I mean, Fibonacci's were discovered way, way back. Anybody know the guy that did it? His name's actually Fibonacci. And they're actually kind of like self-fulfilling prophecies on your charts. It's like the algorithms out there are pretty much tuned to get those nice retracements at those fib levels. And that's why I developed with our programmer, the Auto Fibonacci Trader. Okay. So that's going to be a very powerful little deal that you have. It's the and by the way, if anybody has any questions, Linda will be watching for those. And, feel free to type them in and we'll answer some as we go. At Viper Trading Systems, we do offer a live daily trading room, and it's 5 days a week, every single week, unless there's a holiday. And I start the room at about 20 minutes till 8 Central Time. That way we can get the oil. Oil opens up at 8 a.m. Central Time. So we like to get that first trade out of the gate. We diagnose charts in real time so that we can get those. We're doing the drawing at the end of our webinar, not this one. It'll be our own webinar. Okay. We do also have training sessions to help you to be a successful trader. Our training sessions, by the way, are every Monday night. I do about an hour webinar every single Monday night. They are recorded, so if you miss them, they're real easy to go back into and watch them. We do also have institutional indicators that we've developed over the years. They're called object trader indicators, and we also have an object trader strategy. I can be reached, by the way, by TeamViewer. We do basically remote help. I've got an email address, phone, and a Skype. So you'll actually be able to get in touch with me pretty easily. Okay. And I'm available to answer any questions. I answer the phone all the time. One thing about us too, we're pretty automated. So basically what you'll end up being able to do is to get in touch with me. I could be walking through Costco and I'll get an alert on my phone that you're trying to get in touch with me. So, we've got a pretty nice little system for support. I think you'll really enjoy being with us because, basically, if you have questions, I'll be there to answer them for you. All right. Now, our charts look like this. Okay. This is an object trader chart, auto fibs on it, different object types, Viper clone. This is a very powerful feature. I'm going to show you a chart here in just a moment that actually has this on here. Okay. But this is our object trader strategy in NinjaTrader. And basically there's a little bit to it, but as usual, our support's great. I've got tutorials all over the, basically your login part of your website so that you can learn everything to do with our company and our product. Okay, I'm going to play a little video here. Let me know if you hear the sound on it for sure. This is Gary with Viper Trading Systems. How many of you have ever gotten to your computer? You just got up in the morning and you've seen that, for instance, ES is already run. That's something that happens to a lot of us because obviously, this is my time when I open my trading room, just roughly at about 7:40 in the morning. And I told our people at that particular moment, that basically you're not going to be chasing ES, you're going to be looking for a pullback. Okay, so we've developed a tool that I think you're really going to like, and I'm going to show it to you here. We have what's called auto fibs. Now, auto fibs will actually continue drawing as the price continues, which makes sense, obviously, because it's an auto fib. But what we've done with Object Trader is we've actually made it to where you can take that trade and actually put it on the chart. I'll just do this in playback. I want to show you something because I called this trade in the room live yesterday morning. What you do with this is you just simply say, okay, we know we want a pullback of some kind, and this is a pretty good move. So I've taught my people for years that when you get a really good move like this, you're looking for about a 38% retracement. Well, we've got this built into NinjaTrader where you can just simply say, okay, I want an auto fib OT, and I simply draw it from my swing. Now, I can actually now tell NinjaTrader that I want this particular trade at the 38.2% retracement. Now, if this doesn't come to the 32, then it's no big deal, but I've got a trade set up if it does. I can also even tell it an offset. For instance, what if it barely misses the 38.2 and I want it anyway? Well, I can actually tell it I want, like say a 2-tick offset. Then I just let the trade come to me. This particular trade was actually drawn in the room live yesterday morning. And this new auto fib, you'll actually notice, I'm going to go ahead and start this playback up again to show you what's going on. You'll actually see the auto fibs will move with the price as this, just like this. That came down and perfectly hit. See there, that's that Fibonacci right there within 2 ticks. Fired again, notice that? And that's what this little trader will do. Now you'll notice that if I go to my object types now, that's turned off because it automatically turns it off once it achieves the trade. So it achieved the trade at 38.2%. The trade was called live in our room that morning. You've traded ES, you noticed that it went up extremely well. And this is our classic 38.2 retracement on a big move to the upside. You'll find that these Fibonacci's work extremely well. You'll find fibs of 50s and 61s will work on smaller moves, and your 38s will work on your larger moves, and your real smaller moves will be about 76.4 and 61.8. That's more your small burst pullback, and we use those fibs for that. But that's the way this little Fibonacci trader will work. It's actually truly a new marvel that we've added to NinjaTrader. Makes it to where you have what's called an auto Fibonacci that's continually monitoring that Fibonacci so that you can get that trade. You get nicely green and turn off the machine because that's what we teach in our trading room. And by the way, this little trade right here, this happened in real time yesterday. And if you actually were to have taken this trade, you'll notice that you could just simply ride your trail stop like at line 0 for a while and just watch what actually happened with the trade. I'll just play it and let you see it because they'll usually thrust up and they'll pull back a little bit. Just pull them back a little bit. But keep in mind, we've also got some other tools where we can get in some extra trades and everything. See how beautiful that was right there? And now let's say that I want to go ahead and just trail my stop. Well, I can actually trail my stop. See, this is called line 4 right here. This is called line 5, and this is line 6. What if I said, you know what, I want to go ahead and just protect this thing, but maybe I want to let it ride a little bit too. So I've got one left, so why couldn't I just put my stop at line 4 and then just let the trade do its thing? And you'll find over and over and over that works quite well. See that? See how beautiful that trail stop is moving right with the prices? And lo and behold, they're going to finally take you out. It took you out. See how beautiful that was? That's called a trailing stop based on our stop line. These are new features that we've just added to NinjaTrader. So take this new auto fib to the bank with you because it's a really great new tool to use in your trading. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Gary with Viper Trading System. Okay, I'm back on the webinar. Now, what I showed there real quick, by the way, was just an example of how the system can work. There's no guarantee of any kind in trading futures, obviously, but our whole goal at Viper Trading Systems is to teach you to see this type of trade in real time. We do what's called boxing in on a trade. So let me show you real quick. I'm going to go ahead and take the PowerPoint down. And this is an actual chart right here. This is actually, obviously, you wouldn't be wanting to trade this now because the market's getting ready to close, right, in 15 minutes. But we've added tools on here that you can take even more than one of them. For instance, I can actually tell this, I want to take like a mid-band trade. I can tell it I want to take a predictor trade, a mid-band trade, a rollover type trade by just simply doing these little tools right up here. And we teach you about how to use this type of thing. Okay, because you could see it could be kind of intimidating at first because you have to know a little bit about it. Okay, but our system is designed so that you can simply put this strategy on your chart. You then put NinjaTrader on your chart. You've got the ability to fire market orders. You've got the ability to buy, just do buy, ask, buy, bid, sell, bid. You've even got right-click trades, which you can actually just right-click, sell, buy, market, limits, whatever you want to do. And the other tools, like for instance, I was telling you about the auto region close. Well, auto region close, what it does is it draws on the very last two bars. Okay, now we use a pretty fast chart. It's called a 4-range chart. And by doing a 4-range chart, you're actually pretty much having a box draw of anywhere from 5 to about 9 ticks. Now, I don't like them when they get up to 9 ticks. I like them more when they're 5 or 6 ticks. But you can then simply just tell the chart that you want to take a long, like above that box, or a short below it, in the case of this might be, and you just tell it what you want it to do. And so that's called a region type trade. We also even have a bar close type trade, which simply means you just get in on the bar close. We have mid-band trades. We have wedge trades. Now, wedge trade is like, say, a trend line, to give an example. You can actually just simply go to your trend line tool, move it where you want it, something like that, for instance, and then just wait for the trade to come to you. Now, I like a little bit tighter trend line than this, but like I say, there's nothing going on right now because the market's getting ready to close. But you can actually even move this trend line in real time. And let's say you wanted to take that trade, if it breaks that trend line, you can actually do that by just simply turning on the long enabled. Okay. Now let me show you a little bit about us though first, because you can see that this could be a little bit intimidating. We understand that, but we do have a members area when somebody's with us. And let's say that you wanted to learn about Object Trader. Okay, that's the tool that I just showed you. Just simply click the little tutorial, and this goes into all the features on Object Trader. Little quick 3, 4, 5-minute videos, some of them as much as 9 minutes long. And everything you want to know about that trader you can find. For instance, I just showed you an auto region trade. You just click this, play the little video that accompanies it. That one's 7 minutes. That'll teach you how to do an auto region. Okay, so everything we do is all about training. And when people are members with us, when traders are members with us, they basically have what's called a library of modules. Okay, they have a members area right here. They have weekly links to get into our trading room. They have the most latest download for scripts even, so that way you can actually just download your own, import your own. For instance, I just put out some brand new today. You just simply click it, click this, and then there's your latest scripts dated 4/18 of 24, because we just added a couple of features to Object Trader. And I keep up to date on how to install it and everything with videos. So I try to make it really easy to become a good trader with Viper Trading Systems. But my whole goal has been, ever since I met Charles way back in 2009, we believe in teaching people to see the trades and to take the trades if they want to, but they can trade in sim until they get proficient at it or whatever they need to do. But there's quite a bit of power in trading if you know how to do it right. Okay, but there's always risk too, and you've got to keep that in mind. Anytime you're trading, there's risk. Okay, now to get in touch with us, by the way, this is really easy. On our website, I'll just go to my homepage first. But if you go to contact, you'll notice that it comes up with contact. Okay, that's me right there. That's my email. So if I wanted to ask Viper a question, I just write the message right there. And this will actually pop up on 4 cell phones so that we know to get in touch with you. Okay, so that contact. You can also just simply call me at my desk. I've got right here at my desk, 657-2566, area code's 405. Comes right to me. And if I'm not available at that time, it still comes to that phone, and somebody's always got it. If you have issues with licensing at all on our product, Linda actually takes care of this. That's her email address. And this is my email address right here, support@vipertradingsystems.com. You can also even text us. If you don't want to talk to me, just text me. You can just pop that number up right there. And I'll usually easily take care of any calls and everything within reason. I even take care of them even later times because we do have people overseas and sometimes they'll call me at night. Okay. But on our homepage and everything, we do have the homepage here. You have even a free trading room trial. You want to go ahead and join us for 10 days and just watch the trade calls in the room. You just simply click this. It goes to a little contact. You put your email, your full name, and your true phone number, and you'll get an actual trial of our trading room and some great videos to watch. Okay. We've also got another one here that's called a 10-day trial. Now, this trial even includes the scripts. It includes a little bit more training, and it does run $39.99, but it gives you 10 full days to kick the tires. You're not, giving somebody $5,000 to find out what they can do or can't do. That will let you see that you could come in the room. You could do everything to do with Viper Trading Systems for a 10-day trial. Okay. Anybody have any questions on some of this so far? Well, thank you, Scott. Scott says our support is some of the best out there. And one thing I believe in and been in business for 15 years now is actually being available for my members and trial people. If somebody signs up for a trial with us, they need help installing the thing, you just go to my homepage. First contact me, but on my homepage, we do TeamViewer support also. So if you simply download TeamViewer, get a TeamViewer ID and password, and then contact me, I'll be more than happy to help you by remote. I can help somebody anywhere in the world with that. Okay. So let me show you a little bit more on this chart, just so we can go over some things on the chart here. The ability with our scripts, the reason that we designed this way is most action on a chart, without going with a lot of lagging indicators and things like that, is price action. Okay. And you're going to see this over and over and over. Okay. Let me show you something back here. We open our room every single day at 7:40, and the room is open until 10 o'clock Central Time. Okay. So you notice that this was actually, ES was in quite a downtrend right off the bat. Notice this before my room opened. But after the room opened and after the market opened, and again, this is hypothetical type stuff, but here's when the market opened right there. Notice that they kind of tanked it and our scripts caught it. Okay. But notice when it changed trends. See how my mid-band indicator goes from red to a lime green color? This is called a mid-band trade. Now, this trade can be taken with, let me turn that one off. You can actually just say, and I tell people all the time in the room, by the way, if you go from a short to a long type of a setup, and you'll see this over and over and over, where they'll break down, they'll give you a good short, and then they'll go the other direction, and our mid-band stair steps. And when it stair steps like this, you can go into your object types and select mid-band, predictor below, like that. You could even select a Fibonacci number. Before this ever gets here, keep in mind that fibs are great. I'll bet that's a 38%. See, it will actually hit a 50. So if you were to choose 50, well, this was right here was 50 also, I think. Let me go back to it. That may be a 38 there. Yeah, that one right there was a 38. See that? But that's a pretty good burst for a 38%. So let's say, for instance, if you set object types for 38.2, mid-band, predictor below, and trend power dot. Okay. Let's say that you want it only in 2 contracts, but you've selected 4 object types. Okay. All I have to do is change my max quantity to 2. Okay. And even if whichever one of these it hits first will fire the first contract, and then the second one will fire, and then these will turn off, even if I have it set on what we call multiple object types. So basically, you could actually be watching this thing go down and then simply turn on your mid-band trader and get some good trades, for instance. And again, you're going to have to learn how to read your charts. If you've been used to more like the, say 5-minute, 10-minute type charts, this is a lot quicker, but they make these beautiful swings. thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay. So you can get some of these by using some of these tools like this. And the reason that we've developed this type of tools for you is so that you can just kind of lay back, let the little trader do its thing for you. And in the trading room, now I do call actual trades in the trading room. Okay, we won't go over hypothetical, anything performance or anything like that because we're actually with a broker type of a webinar. But I can tell you this, that you will be given ample opportunity if you want to take the trade. It's up to you. Okay, so we've got the tools to do it. We also have what's called measured moves that we use a lot in the room, where you can tell where your next trade is going to kind of hit its head at. The Object Trader tool itself is quite elaborate. I mean, you can do about anything with this tool right here that you'd like to do. You can even tell it, for instance, I want to not lose over $500. Maybe I want to gain at least 1,000. You can tell it that, and it'll even give you warnings if you get near those. If you hit like a $500 drawdown, maybe you want to quit for the day. Okay, so that's available. We've also got, let me show you this right here. I went ahead and purchased 3 Top Step accounts today, so I could just show you if you were actually to buy accounts with a prop firm, you have what's called Viper Clone. So what we can actually do is we can say, okay, we're going to do this chart here in Sim, but we're going to choose Viper Clone and turn on the clone. Okay, now when you actually take a trade in Sim, it will fire on all 3 of those accounts. Very powerful tool. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that. Somebody's asking about the after webinar, so I'm going to go ahead and paste it again. That's the link for that. Okay, so the ability of cloning, I don't know if anybody's really looked into that, but this is a powerful part of trading nowadays. A lot of people use prop firms rather than their own money. And when you use something like a cloning type thing, you can actually have the trades fire, for instance, on all 3 accounts. We've designed the clone where it'll do as many as 100, but I don't think anybody does 100 accounts. But there are some prop firms that'll let you do 20 accounts, and you can definitely tell it that you want to do, for instance, 3 accounts. I can even do this. What if this was a $25,000 account and these 2 were $100,000 accounts? I can even tell it, okay, I want to trade this one in micros, and I want to trade these with full contracts. And then I just tell it how many micros that I want to do versus 1 full contract. So let's say if I wanted to do 1 full contract on the first 2 accounts right here, but then only 3 micros, I could tell it that by just using my micros multiplier. Another powerful tool that we built at Viper Trading Systems. We've also added a new indicator called the bid-ask spread. The reason we did that is because, if you've ever been trading, well, if you've been trading for a long time, you know that there's times when markets move pretty fast, right? So we added this, made it real simple. We didn't put it elaborate on the chart. It just gives you a bid-ask spread. If it's green, you're pretty safe to hit a market order. If it goes red, you better watch it, because then you're getting at least 3 to 4 tricks, possibly even more than that slippage. But as long as that bid-ask spread's in that green, you're good to go. Okay. Any questions on any of this? I'd love to answer them for you. Let me go up the sheet here real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, beauty is this. Matter of fact, the beauty of our system is that we absolutely use the same charts on the same range bars on every single chart. Now, the only one that I would not recommend doing 4 range charts on is NQ. It's pretty fast. Okay, but we trade in the trading room. We actually trade ES, we trade CL, we trade gold, and we trade YM. And with those 4 charts, they move in lockstep, I think, with this type of strategies. NQ, on the other hand, you can fill this many bars on NQ in 1 minute sometimes. It is super, super fast. So I would recommend on NQ, you kick it up to about a 10 or 12 range chart, and that works pretty well. In the trading room, though, you will actually see ES on the right top, YM on the left top, gold on the bottom left, and oil on the bottom right. And so what I do in the trading room each and every day is I diagnose these charts in real time as they're moving. So trade calls are actually made. And of course, you're trading on your own computer. So it's up to you if you want to take the trade. This particular trade, by the way, it's too late. The market's closed. But this is actually called a phantom trade. Notice this background change colors like this. This will actually flash these bars if I turn on phantom. See those bars flash right there? That's letting you know that that's a phantom trade. That's alerting me to the fact that, hey, if I was trading this late in the day, that I might want to take that phantom trade. Okay. Look at these bars over here. See, this is called a mid-band trade, mid-band short. These bars should flash right here. This might not be deep enough into it. I don't think that one went deep enough. Let me find a longer one. We'll go to OT alerts here. Mid-band, those will flash. See the mid-band long right there? They get within X ticks of this mid-band, and these bars can flash and give you a pretty good idea of an entry. Okay, so again, we've got some good, powerful tools for you to trade with. The most important part of our system, though, is the fact that I'm available for you. I run that room 5 days a week, every single week, and we try to go in that room. No promises, obviously, but you come in that room and I call trades for right at 2 hours. And as a rule, there's usually about 10 or 12 trades called. Okay, let me see some others here just a second. Do we just trade ES? No, I just mentioned that. It does, by the way, Barry, on your question, it does work on NQ. What I would recommend, like I said, on NQ is use a little bit larger bar, because the reason for that is not so much that it won't work on it. It's just that your chart fills up so fast, because 4-range bars, that's a 4-tick bar. So if NQ was to run 50 ticks, see from here to here, that's only, let's see, that would be 6 times 7, 42 ticks. So, that would literally be, only 4 bars on a 12 range, something like that. You see what I mean? So we recommend a little bit larger chart on that. Okay, let's see. Does this mean also normally $39.99 10-day trial? Free with code at follow-up webinar, no code. I do have some codes. If you come to the next webinar, I'll give you a code. Okay, everybody see that link for the webinar after this? Okay. There's no code for the 10 days in the room. That's free. You just click on it. Okay, so be sure and keep those questions coming in. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one right here. Bear with me a second. I'll send that link again, by the way. So to my understanding, it's semi-automatic, not a set and forget full auto. No, matter of fact, if you've looked into full auto systems, I've looked into those personally. I won't name any brands or anything like that, but you have to have a pretty good drawdown on those. Basically what I've seen with most of those that even win quite a bit of the time, I looked at some robots myself about 1.5 years ago, and I noticed that some of those drawdowns could be, like $7, 10, 12, $15,000. So they're definitely not for everybody. Okay, let's see. Okay, Michael says, basically, I'm partially colorblind. Can colors be changed or have some kind of indicators eliminated? You can eliminate any indicators that you want. But yes, it is customizable to what you want it to be. For instance, I can change the bar colors or anything like that. It's not a black box system. You can go in here and all of my indicators here, you can change them. For instance, if I wanted my background, see, I've got colors that I can change it to. If I want to change the bar colors, I can go into my alerts here change those even. So yeah, it's totally customizable. This is just some stock colors that I've liked for years. Uh, my business partner for years was a little bit more color blind, like you say, uh, mostly reds, if I remember right. And so he would do a little bit darker bar, like a maroon color, but he could still differentiate them. So, but you're welcome to change them. And with NinjaTrader, they're great products that they've got. You just change whatever you want, right click, save your template, and it'll remember it from then on. And then you save your workspace, so it'll come up that way. Oh, there's stops present, Valerie, on your question. We don't have any live data at this time right now, but if you were to fire a trade, the stop goes in default at 15. The link should be working. Oh, it won't work. I'm not in the webinar yet, so you won't be able to, you can register for it though. Yeah, you should definitely be able to get into it. Okay, but Valerie, on your question, basically everything that we do without being like black box, you can set all of this the way you want it. For instance, I've got traders that like to scalp. Well, if you want to scalp, with NinjaTrader, for instance, that you've got the ability to make templates. Let's say, for instance, that I wanted to scalp my object trader. I could simply go down here to my target stops and everything, and I can tell it, maybe I've got a trader, for instance, that likes 8 ticks. So you would set it like this, 8 ticks. He likes another one at 12, and he likes a runner. And he'll put his runner at 40, but he moves it around. And then you just tell it, like, let's say you just want maybe a 10 tick stop instead, and then save your template. And you would want to save it as, like, let's say, for instance, maybe call it scalp, like that. And then you save it, and then you activate Object Trader, which is a strategy. And then you'll have those exact settings right there. See it? 8, 12, 10 tick stop. But I can go back to the default in a heartbeat too. So you can set anything you want. A lot of our people use a break-even trigger. You can set a break-even trigger. Let's say you wanted to do 8 ticks, go back to break-even, maybe an offset of 2. That way you get to 8 ticks. You get, just to give an example, like on this, you'd be at $100 bill, right? And let's say you set the offset at 2, you'd save 2 ticks, which would be another 25. So you'd actually have like $125 as long as that got to the 8. Okay. You've also got features on Object Trader like reverse at stop. You've got exit at close. Now, exit at close is a really cool feature. That's one of my favorites. I thought of that one personally, had it coded. How many times have you been in a trade and you put your stop just right at a swing? So what do? They wick it by 2 ticks. They want you out so they can run it. So with exit on close, we've got it where on a long, it has to exit below the line, and on a short, it has to exit above the line. Does this system require a lot of power to operate? Well, no, but you do. Anytime you're trading, I would highly recommend a good, computer system. It's like anything. If you were going to be a carpenter, you probably wouldn't want to just go out and buy a handsaw and a hammer. Maybe 50 years ago or 60 years ago, maybe. But nowadays, what are they? They're power tools. You're not using like a normal hammer. You're shooting them in with nail guns. See what I mean? So it's the same thing in trading. You really need to have the proper tools. Otherwise, if you're locking up and different things like that, I've talked to people before. Just to give an example, NinjaTrader themselves does not ever recommend having less than 8 gig of memory. Well, 8 gig of memory is an old computer. You don't really want to, have an older computer and run lots of colors, video, everything. Yeah, you could definitely have some lag then. I run what's called a Blue Ice system by Falcon. They're i9 chips. I highly recommend i9 or at least upper i7s. I recommend good solid state fast hard drives, and I recommend a good video card. And if you have that, I mean, I never have problems with, having even a dozen charts. If you get a slow system, oh, and another thing too, is you want to have good, fast internet. Okay. That link did not work for you. Bear with me a second then. Let me have, I'll have my wife actually check that. That should work for anybody. Let me just check it myself real quick. Just 1 second. Yeah, because we definitely want you in there. Oh, it's not a link. You're going to have to copy and paste it. Let me try that real quick on another screen just to make sure. Bear with me a second. And don't get that period involved in it too. That may be what you're doing. So let's just go to a screen here and we'll go to paste, go to webinar. That's the link. Let me just put it in the chat log here real quick and let's make sure it does work for you. Yeah, it works. Just I'll put it in the chat log. Bear with me a second. Let me do that one first and then we'll do this one. There you go. That one should be a good link for you there. Okay. So that's when the webinar starts at 4:30 to 5:30. Probably won't run it that long, by the way, but that's the link. Okay. By the way, those are good questions. Keep them coming because, a webinar is all about learning. Okay. I've been trading myself personally since the 80s. Some of you probably aren't even that old, but, I'm 70 years old. I've been trading a long time. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go up this. Yeah, that hyperlink works. Good deal. What's the difference? What difference is there on bar close versus price change on candles? Well, what I'm talking about on a bar close type trade, we can't actually do one because it's after 4 o'clock. But let's say, for instance, that you saw this happening with what we call the phantom, and you wanted to take that trade on a bar close. Well, the moment a bar closed, if you had bar close turned on like this long, then when that bar closed, it would fire the trade. That's all it has to do. Good question, though. Keep them coming. Does this system, do I ever experience lag? No. You can have an auto reverse setup too, Michael. I've actually done it before. Just to give an example, let's say that you had done like a measured move, to give an example, and you knew right about where that was going to hit its head and pull back at least. You can actually do reverse that stop. You can even do reverse that target. I've got that built in here too. You can tell it which target you want to reverse at. Yeah, it's all about trading, and keep in mind that it's a semi-auto type system. It's going to take you as a trader, once you learn how we trade our system and everything, to actually take the trades. Okay. But if you think about it, just to give an example, and we won't go over, for instance, how much you could have done or anything like that. But here's the trading room right here. Let's just hypothetically go over a few. Okay, this is what we call a line in the sand, long short right there. Before the market ever opened, I draw that on the charts. So see how it popped, kissed, and rolled? You can take that trade short. This trade, beautiful mid-band trade, stair stepping, that's a trade. By the way, we like to get out on what we call a trend line type. And what I do, and did this, by the way, in real time in the room, I like to draw trend lines. So our people got out of the trade right there. And they can use my object types to do so. It's called trend line. And you can actually, let's say you were long a couple of contracts, you want to take them off there. You just simply turn on the short for 2 because you're long 2. So your short 2 will take you to flat. Okay. This is called a phantom type trade. This particular trade will actually draw on your chart. If it's 4 hours ago, let me go ahead and change the timing on it. And I'll show you. These will actually flash for you. Let me just show you how that works. See, that's only set at 480 minutes. So I'll set it at 4,800 minutes instead. And you'll clearly see that your alert phantom long will flash. See there? That's telling a trader they're not going short yet. They're actually looking for a deeper pullback for what we call a phantom trade. And if you had your auto fibs on, I can't draw auto fibs because you've got higher highs now. But let's say, for instance, you were watching this in our room and auto fibs drawing and it's drawing and it's drawing and it's drawing. And it gets up there to that top. Look at that beautiful 50% pullback. Look at that beautiful pullback right there, even to just a little bit below, closer to the 60. Isn't that cool? And we've got the ability to take those trades with our object types. Let's see, let me go down the list. Linda's watching everything for me here. Do we show the trades in the room? What I am all about, I do show my P&L in the room. I call the trades in real time in the room. And basically what I want to do though, because I can trade on my own, okay, I want to teach people to fish. If you've been in my room, you've probably heard this before. I don't believe in the system that we're in today where everybody gets everything handed to them for free. I'm from the old school. I'm 70 years old, and I believe that people need to work for a living. And if they don't work for a living, they don't deserve to eat. So what I do is I teach people to fish. You know, you heard the old saying, right? You give a man a fish dinner, he'll be back for more. You teach him to fish, he can feed himself. Let's see. I'm an Apex member. How do I get my $50,000 account with your code and be reimbursed? Just join us. Just join us. I can give you the code though for Apex if you want. We can do that in the next webinar. I'm not sure if Ninja wants us to do it in this one, but I do have a discount code to save you 80%. Candle colors. Can you discuss why you choose to not have regular Japanese color changes? I don't know. It's actually, truthfully, over the years that I've been in business, this is the chart we literally used in 2000 and probably 11. I mean, I've had these same charts literally since Charles and I pretty much first met. We've changed a few things and we've added this. If Charles was alive today, for instance, he'd see some changes on Object Trader that would just unreal. The power meter is letting you know that, for instance, this is over to the right side of the chart, that you're basically on what we call power meter 2, 3, and 4, you're in a downtrend right now. Those are letting you know that those particular swings are in a downtrend. And my colors also, see the colors right here? This is telling you you're in a downtrend. This is what's called a phantom type trade right here. We put our stop at line 8 and look at this. This will actually flash the bars on what we call a phantom short. See those bars? Kind of hard to see them, but now you can see them. See there? So an entry, stop at line 8, try to get back to mid-band, take your profit. That's the way we teach it. Let's see, any other questions? We're kind of in a question and answer part of it right now. If you come to the next webinar, I'll be able to show even a little bit more because we're kind of time constraints in this webinar. Matter of fact, they'll be taken over here in about the next 5 minutes. So get those questions in. I can tell you this though, that the scripts themselves, we always make sure that we have the scripts that trade the way traders trade. Mid-band trades, phantom trades, box-in trades, all of that. You can do anything with this little trading system right here. You just have to learn to use it. Now, the beauty of learning to use it, though, is that I've made it, I mean, I spend a lot of my time making sure that people know how to use my product. You go to your login area. You want to learn about Object Trader? Right there. You want to learn how to do a mid-band trade? Go to the members area. Download the trading manual. Takes about a minute to download. And you've got some great training. This will take just a moment because we're in a Zoom deal too, so it's probably a little slower, but I'll go ahead and do that. There it is. Probably isn't totally loaded yet though. It'll take another moment. By the way, you can save it too. I just went into the website and got it instead, but you can actually save this to your desktop. But on my little trading manual, for instance, you just go down and let's say I've been talking about mid-band trades for the last 30 minutes, phantom trades. Just simply click the little module. Like if I want to learn how to do a phantom trade, what's a phantom trade? Well, that's a Viper type trade. That's a trade that I've taught for, almost 15 years. You click that, tells you a little bit about the trade, and there's a video of how to do them. You want to know about a mid-band trade? There's a video how to do it. You want to know what a phantom actually is, what the trend lines are? All of this is in here. You want to learn about, for instance, how to do a wedge trade. Click the wedge. There's your wedge trade right there. Everything that we do, I keep very up to date. I also believe in another thing too, and that is that my webinars are always current. Okay. To me, it's very important to have current webinars. Let me just show you what I mean. I had a webinar Monday night. That webinar's already posted. Our people can watch that the very day after I do these. You just simply click them, opens it up, and you click the little play button. It's that easy. Okay, so the training is really, really good. I believe in more video training than documents so much because videos, can be uploaded and things, and they're very up to date. Please, can we get the recording of this webinar? Robin, on your question, Raman, I'm sure they'll have it on the ecosystem website. Yeah, he's saying everyone who is registered for this event will receive an email with a link to the recording once it's available. And recordings are also posted too, and they've got a link right there. Okay. So, another thing about us at Viper Trading Systems, though, is we realize that there are way different levels of traders. There's no question that you could ever ask that's dumb. I've been in websites or webinars before where, if you haven't been with them for 6 weeks or 6 months, they won't even talk to you. We're not like that. I have people all the time asking questions that, some people don't know what a, a forward range chart is, for instance. I'll answer that. Explain the horizontal lines, Miss you on your question. Well, horizontal lines, basically, these are drawn by you. Okay. But we've got little labels on the lines, which are pretty cool. Because, for instance, this is in a little bit of a downtrend. But if this was like in the morning, to give an example, that's a line in the sand long short right there. And we'd be looking for a break above, pull back and kiss, and up it goes. Or this resistance is going to hold and it'll start rolling over. How to attend the next webinar? I'll go ahead and post it again. That should give you the link. Okay, I think we're just about to run out of time. I'm trying to keep it, at about 40, 45 minutes because they want us to do that. So we can come back again. All right, let me see the different ribbon lines. Oh, okay, I'll explain those real quick. And I'll go over them even in more detail in the next webinar. But we have what are called bands. And these bands will change according to the mid-band itself. Okay, but the bands are 6 tick, each of these bands. Okay, and so between the top band and the bottom band is 48 ticks. And the algorithm that we do is based on this price action. For instance, when I called a trade in the room this morning on ES, look how many bars there are in a day. Isn't that unreal? When I called a trade in the room this morning, we're actually looking at these bands and see, this is what we call a phantom trade. See the color of the background right there? This lets you know to take this trade, and it lets you know to take that trade. Those are called phantom trades. This is called a mid-band trade, first time after a trend change. You change trends, you get what's called mid-band. See this mid-band trade right here? That tells you to take that. That's also a mid-band trade. Change the blue bars, but it's still a mid-band trade. Okay? So I'll be more than happy to answer any other questions in that next webinar too. I hope everybody enjoyed this one. I try to make these webinars as intuitive as possible. We realize we only have like 40 minutes to talk, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions in the next one. And I'll even show you some things in the next one too.
Thanks again, Gary and Linda, for taking the time to share with us today. If you enjoyed today's session, we hope you'll join us for future webinars. Follow us on social media for alerts about upcoming events and other NinjaTrader ecosystem news. We would like to remind you that the information provided in this was that of Viper Trading Systems and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Enjoy the rest of your day. We hope to see you in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us at NinjaTrader Ecosystem.